Welcome to Rage You Nerds. If you're listening in right now, this is the audio podcast. And if you're looking in right now, this is clearly not the audio podcast. It's audio-video podcast. That's the AV version of a podcast. I am Mr. Cack. That is Jared, my brother. And that is TJ. Kind of like a brother, I feel like.
What about if they're watching but can't hear us? What is that?
Oh my gosh, if you are watching and can't hear us, well, welcome to 2019 when I first started doing the streams for this. when I would record and would be muted pretty much half the time. Or I would double audio things, and it is a nightmare. And it hasn't got any better with all of the unusable recording I had from the last time we met up.
We need like a closed caption system where it's just like ... Like
so
they're saying something, but it's not registering.
That was the nice thing about doing this with a stream if people actually showed up, because there would be some person that would always be there be like, hey, we can't hear you. I'm like, oh man, thank goodness you showed up 45 minutes into this to tell me that. At least you told me, and now I know, so that's nice. We're the nerds, we're here to rage, we're going to talk about some stuff, we're going to make some New Year's resolutions on behalf of some nerdy things out there in the world. We're going to talk some Ben Stiller, and the only reason I really want to talk Ben Stiller is because you ever get lured in by the clear clickbait spam articles that like pop up on like Twitter or Facebook, and you're like,
oh sure,
I know this isn't legit, but I'm gonna click on it anyways.
I want to read it.
There was one about how Ben Stiller does not apologize for Tropic Thunder,
and he shouldn't.
And he shouldn't, except for maybe how much he leaned into the more mentally compromised individual side of things. That I feel like, oh gosh, I think the Robert Downey Jr. stuff is hilarious. And as Robert Downey Jr. said on Joe Rogan's podcast, 90% of my black friends said they were okay with it. And I appreciate how the other 10% feel, but I feel like what I did was right.
Can we all just, admit that probably the best scene in that movie is Tom Cruise
at the end.
Yeah.
With
the beer gut and the bald head and the oversized arms and hands, and just doing his little dance thing.
I'll be completely honest. Until they revealed that credit, I had no idea that was Tom Cruise.
Same here.
That was the best got you I've experienced in a movie.
It just made me think, hey, he can act. He's not playing the same guy in every movie.
I almost spit out my drink. I mean, we could always pivot to Tom Cruise and how the current new star of the Reacher TV series tried to reach out to him to say, hey, man, no hard feelings, but, thank you for setting up the Reacher universe as something that people look at. So now I have the opportunity to play him. And someone in the studio was like, hey, you shouldn't do that. So I don't know if it's the height thing. I don't know if Tom would. I don't know if Tom would be like perturbed by how tall this man is. That's thanking him for his hard work. But yeah, the new Reacher has a new season out right now. I don't know the name of the guy. I just know that he's big and muscly, and people want him to be Batman. And I'm down for big muscly people being Batman. Yep. Pretty cool with that.
So it's Alan Ritchson, I think.
Yep.
Okay,
and
yes.
The funny thing is, like, he has played Aquaman in Smallville, and he also played Hawk in the Titans TV show. So he's already played two DC characters as it is. So why not go for the third? Why not work your way up to Batman?
Yeah. Go in for the kill, man.
Can I say something that I don't think is that isn't a hot take whatsoever? But DC and the MCU are dropping the ball not having Jensen Ackles be some form of a superhero somewhere.
So he was the voice of Batman in some.
He was the voice in year one. Also.
Well, but there's also had other animated movies. I think he was the voice of Batman in the Long Halloween two-parter.
He's got a good chin. He's got a good chin and a good 5 o'clock shadow. That's basically half of.
Yeah, that's Bruce Wayne right there.
Mainly Batman.
Yeah.
But all right, so let's kick this off. Let's discuss the thing that's on everyone's mind right now, and that's Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Let's go ahead. I had an idea for a skit for a segment of let's reveal who was on Epstein's Island, but it's all like cartoon characters that we think would be on, that you think you would find on the flight itinerary for Epstein's list. And then I was like, well, can we even say that? God, can we even say that name on YouTube without the algorithm being like, no?
Hey, that may help because that's a hot topic right now.
It is,
and it's not funny at all. But like, maybe,
I know that's the more humanitarian side of it. Is like, well, it's a horrible thing. We shouldn't be making light of it. It's just a joke. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it right now. I think Fred from the Scooby-Doo gang was on there.
Definitely.
I was going to say, well, the easy one. Let's see the two easiest right here. And I've already threw one of these guys under the bus, and I'm sorry to the Muppets, but Animal. Animal clearly was on that island.
Oh, no. I don't think Animal was. I think Beaker was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Why do you think he doesn't talk?
That's true. Animal said woman. He didn't say anything younger than that. So I assume while he was not looking for consent, he at least was age appropriate. So, and they don't let him say that anymore.
Shady enough. I'm just saying. Beaker just seems shady enough.
And then my second one that I feel like strongly, I mean, and this one's just easy. Pepe Le Pew. Right, like we all agree,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
that's that skunk's out there with Epstein and Bill Gates or whoever, allegedly.
Allegedly,
Jimmy Kimmel. Don't get upset. Allegedly, have you seen that? Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel are in a feud. Oh, that's
started
hilarious.
That whole thing between Kimmel and Rodgers.
Okay, so Rodgers, what I've learned from Rodgers now is that he sits when he's injured and stews about every slight that has ever occurred to him in his life.
So I think the whole Kimmel Rodgers thing started with Rodgers didn't want to get vaccinated. And
yeah,
Kimmel called him out on his show and basically said, you're a piece of shit because you're in close quarters with a lot of people and you're not getting vaccinated and you're spreading this disease around or whatever. And Aaron Rodgers didn't like that and said, F you, and it just kind of started from there.
All right.
Well, so the real fun of all of this is that it comes from Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah.
Which means that in the House of Mouse, you have Pat McAfee, who is being labeled as Aaron Rodgers' conspiracy theory enabler, and then Jimmy Kimmel, who is also a House of Mouse employee, getting into a little beef. And now some people have said it's not apples to apples. Jimmy Kimmel just insulted his intelligence and questioned, how ethical of a person he was and where his morality was. And then Aaron Rodgers accused him of, and he didn't necessarily say this, being associated with people's names on the Epstein Island. Now, I think Jimmy Kimmel took that and maybe some of the people that have threatened him as Aaron Rodgers saying that his name would be on the list. I think it's more fair to assume that Rodgers is probably saying, hey, Jimmy, maybe some of the people you eat dinner with might be on that list.
Yeah.
But I think that's fair to say for pretty much anyone of a certain social status upward. I think once those names come out, we've already got some royalty on there. Yep. Billy Boy's not looking too good with his association in there right now, so I think that's going to be a real damning thing. My other fictional thing, like my kicker, was going to be Michael Bay's Intrusive Thoughts, which isn't to say Michael Bay, but Transformers, the one with Mark Wahlberg, where Michael Bay or whomever he allowed to write for his screen or for his script included a part, had it ready to go, where this Australian man was in a relationship with the daughter of Mark Wahlberg, who was 16, and he's like, that's not cool, you're a grown person. And the guy pulls out his wallet and has a card that is printed the actual, I think, Texas or some states consent law. And it's like, oh, that's not the route to go with this.
Yeah, I don't think we put that in the movie.
This may be a Mandela effect, but I thought they did that. I thought they had the whole Texas consent law thing on there. Oh, they did.
Yes, they did. And I think that's not how you should approach it. I think the way you should approach an older man dating a 16-year-old is not to do it. Not make it a subplot of your story.
Yeah.
For God's sakes. Michael Bay's Intrusive Thoughts. Not saying he's on a list. I'm saying he maybe should be on a list somewhere. All right, so what else are we going to talk about?
May not be on that list, but he should be on a list.
I'm just saying, He probably didn't write it because he's probably sitting in a room somewhere saying, explosions! Megan Fox, explosions! And then someone's like, hey, actually, Michael, could we? I don't know. There's this young girl. Could we cast her? Okay, how old is she? She's like 18, 19, 20. All right, that's cool. But I'm going to say she's 16. But why? You know why. It's the implication. But yeah, so that Transformers subplot is the weirdest thing that I've ever. I remember sitting in a theater thinking, "The fuck did I just sign up for?" Dude had a card ready. That means he went out of his way to be like, "Well, I'm gonna date me someone at the threshold of consent."
I'm
ready.
This card real quick, so it's in just in case the cops show up. Be like,
My understanding of Texas police officers is probably that's not going to save him. I think he might have slipped on the way to being questioned on that one.
Well, I think it depends on where you're at in Texas and which locality gets you.
We're looking at you, Austin.
If it's an Austin police chief, be like, okay, cool.
I'm actually from California.
If it's Harris County, maybe not so much.
All right. This is what Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel and Bill Gates do to us. All right, so back to the Ben Stiller of it all, and we hope to God's name that he's not listed on any list. At this point in time, I don't know who we can and can't talk about, but Ben Stiller, there was, so I saw the article that said he doesn't apologize, and then I read the article, and it's like, well, that's not necessarily what he said, it's just an article that got clicks, and they got my click. Congratulations, article. But then I was like, well, you know what? Did he actually say this recently? So I was like, so I Googled him, and one of the first things that popped up was GOLDDERBY.com, which apparently is a site that basically is just built upon anyone that's like, hey, we really want to be trivia gods when it comes to like Oscar races and stuff like that. So this is like an Oscar race and then by extension, film aficionado type website. So they're pretentious and up their own ass, which led me to actually check out their list. Because like, well, how pretentious and up their own ass could they be?
Probably.
So this is Ben Stiller's movies, 12 greatest films ranked worst to best. So we're going to start with the worst, and we're going to work our way to the best based on Tim O'Brien, Misty Holland, Chris Beecham, from November 25th, 2023. So recently, from the Gold Derby, predict Hollywood's races. Not predict that Hollywood is racist, predict Hollywood's races for films that are going to win Oscars or not. Number 12 is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Does that register with anyone?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. I definitely haven't seen it.
That sounds like a pretty good worst movie then. It's directed by Ben Stiller, so that's sorry Ben, that's not a hot start. Writers, who cares? It starred Ben Stiller, Kristen Wiig, and Shirley MacLaine. John McClane's wife?
Sister of John McClane's wife.
Okay, all right. It sounded familiar.
Well, that wouldn't sound right. Then it should be Shirley Gennaro.
Don't judge how they chose to marry.
Maybe it's John McClane's sister.
That would work better.
Yeah.
There we go. Number 11. So this is the second worst film, which he has more than 12 films, so I guess that's a subjective. There are clearly a plethora of other films left off of this that I would assume are worse. And this one I don't think I agree with. Night at the Museum, the first one.
Oh, no.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good enough to make multiple sequels, so.
And it had Robin Williams in it, so like I don't know how you don't just automatically bump it up a couple spaces.
Not just that, but like the old guys at the end, Dick Van Dyke, and like when it turns out they're responsible for the plot. Like it's all in all, it's a kid movie. This isn't meant for, I mean, maybe young adults and whatnot, but it's a movie that parents can watch with their kids. And like, I don't know why they had a problem with this. This wasn't like it was supposed to be, Top Gun or something.
Let's see. Do they actually say it? The box office success of the first film generated 2 forgettable sequels. That's all they released. They don't even give critiques as to why they choose not to give it. So that sucks. This list already sucks. This sucks ass. These people suck ass. But we shall continue. Number 10. I get it. I get why it's the third worst on this list, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun. The Heartbreak Kid. The Heartbreak Kid. It stars Ben Stiller, Malin Ackerman, and Michelle Monaghan. Do you guys remember The Heartbreak Kid?
Don't
Not
guess
Shawn
I
Michaels.
saw that one.
Yeah, that's the only Heartbreak Kid I know.
Yeah, it's the only Heartbreak Kid I know, Cac.
Okay.
I remember hearing about it. I remember seeing like trailers for it. I never watched it.
So he marries the girl of his dreams, and they go on their honeymoon. And then I'm pretty sure she hooks up with the scuba diver instructor. And then he's, I guess, comes back a year later. So let's see. On his honeymoon, turns out to be a total nightmare. Aware that he's trapped in marriage hell. Oh, she's bad. Eddie finds himself falling in love with yet another woman. Oh, he's the kind of the bad guy with whom he wants to stay. But Eddie must first figure out how to divorce his wife while they're on their honeymoon. Okay, so I was confusing that with part of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is not.
I was thinking Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I was like, wait a minute, he just described.
I'm going back. Okay, so I like Forgetting Sarah Marshall better. So yeah, he's kind of the dick in that. Number 9 is Greenberg. Annie, does that register at all?
Turns out I have not seen as many Ben Stiller films as I thought I've seen.
No, like, I mean, I know Dodgeball, but
Well, TJ, that's a good segue. Coming in at number 8, Dodgeball, a true underdog story, which, seriously, these people love the smell of their own farts to not like Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
And he wasn't even like the main character in that movie. He was just like the main bad guy in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, Vince Vaughn was the main character of that film.
Remember, kids, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And you drink your own urine, not because you like the taste, because it's sterile. And you like the taste. For a goofball comedy, Dodgeball received surprisingly good reviews. So even they're like, well, it sucked, but I guess people liked it.
Sounds like it's just a bunch of Karens who made this list.
Yes, the Gold Derby is a bunch of pretentious cockwieners.
Which I tried to preface with, I assumed that they were. Number 7 is Reality Bites. We don't know what that is, so we'll just keep on scrolling.
I was about to say, nope, not that one either.
Number 6, and remember, the fact that I'm reading these means that they thought this was better than Dodgeball. Number 6 is Flirting with Disaster, so we can keep on scrolling because we don't know what the hell that is.
Nope. Oh, hang on. I know what number 5 is.
Number 5 is Zoolander.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Zoolander probably belongs on this list. But
I agree.
only because I feel like they were trying to make a stupid and terrible movie, but still make it comedic, I guess. Like it's kind of like this one. I put Zoolander up there with like the movies like The Stupids and stuff like that. There's nothing about this that was serious. It was just like they put Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson and just like, y'all just be dumb the entire movie. Just be dumb. And this is what we got. Like there was no other point to this movie than being dumb. They had to put a plot in there that they were, male fashion models and whatnot. But that was really it. It was kind of like, all right, here's the premise for your character. Now y'all just go be dumb.
I mean, to me, the movie was less about like making a good movie or a funny movie, and more about I need to pay the mortgage on my new beach house.
Hey Ben, Owen, we got this movie you're interested in.
How do you rate this higher than Dodgeball? Both are goofball. Both are not serious. Dodgeball's the better story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
For Christ's sake, the conflict of Zoolander is one is slightly prettier than the other.
Yeah.
Dodgeball, there were stakes, right? Yes, it was comical and nonsensical about how they chose to alleviate business hardships. But at least the story made sense. They need money. They're going to try a risky gambit. Otherwise, they're SOL. Okay, I get that. They referenced ESPN. I get that. Vince Vaughn banged an attractive woman. I don't get that. I don't get that.
And it was Vince Vaughn.
And it was Ben Stiller's wife who has divorced him now. Sorry, Ben.
Well, maybe Vince had something going for him.
He was part of that rat brat pack or whatever the hell they were called. Number 4, Meet the Parents, the series. They couldn't even say just one. All of them, all 3 of them,
Every
lump them
one
together.
Of them sucked.
Well, is number 4 on this list? So that means it's the closest to the best that we've got so far.
Yeah,
I liked the first Meet the Parents.
I did too.
I
don't Meet the Fockers. I didn't really care for near as much, but the first Meet the Parents was just. And I mean, it wasn't even Ben Stiller that made that movie. It was
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Like his comedy timing was
Yes.
Perfect.
Did it feel like Meet the Fockers was too much of a rehash of the first one for it to be like register within you as like, oh, that was good?
I don't.
I'm trying. Felt like it was the first one over again.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, but I don't. I guess I don't remember the second one.
I don't think anyone does really.
Well, the second one is like it was meeting like Ben Stiller's parents, and they're like,
oh
enemies,
yeah,
like completely opposite of what the girl's parents were.
Wasn't that? Wait a minute. Was that was Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going.
Okay,
to
the third one was Little Fockers. Okay, all right. So I haven't seen the third one.
I give him kudos for names, right? I give him kudos.
What the fuck is going on?
for naming a character Focker and like just leading into that as hard as they could.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Can you milk me? And you know what's? It's not so much that line was great. It's just that it was delivered by Robert De Niro,
yes.
in the so sarcastic, smartastic kind of way. I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Like matter of fact, like.
I think we were all visualizing like Robert De Niro in one of his whatever gangster movie you most closely associate with him, being like, that man just asked if he wanted to have his nipples milked. He's killed people for less.
Where's Joe Pesci when we need him in Meet the Fockers? I mean, really. If he showed up and was like Robert De Niro's longtime CIA confidant.
What happened to Joe Pesci?
What are you saying? You want to milk me?
What happened to Joe Pesci?
Can you imagine if Joe Pesci was cast instead of Robert De Niro?
Oh, hell.
It becomes a drastically different film.
Yeah. Well, which one does he show up? Does he show up on the one like Goodfellas, or does he show up like Leo Getz?
Leo.
Okay.
Number 3, Tropic Thunder. Probably the one thing I do agree about this list is putting this up there in the top, right? Because I love Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder was great.
Yeah.
Like it's edgy. It's you can't make this film anymore. You could. You just have to be ballsy enough to deal with that. Yep. Some people are going to be upset, but we're at the point now that those some people are always going to be upset every time you do something. So like, do you care?
Yep. Yeah,
do you care? Just make it. Just make the damn film.
Just making the same people mad.
South Park doesn't give two tiddly shits. They've made the most offensive things within the current setting. They've ran out of stuff to make fun of, and they're like, well, I guess we'll just start making fun of the people that pay us money all the time now. And that's what they do. They've basically told Paramount, y'all are stupid, and everything that we're doing is stupid. He is $9 billion, South Park. Continue. This is where the list falls off once yet again. Number 2 is the Royal Tenenbaums.
You know, I've seen it, but I don't remember anything about it.
Well, it's a Wes Anderson flick.
It's
a Wes Anderson flick. So if you've seen any one Wes Anderson flick, TJ,
you've probably seen this one.
You've seen them all. It's a high concept, vibrant colors, something's like really weird, and then there's this. I've noticed something. I don't watch a lot of Wes Anderson stuff, but I've seen 2 films, so I find it weird that this kind of pops up in both of them. I think Wes Anderson has some Freudian sexual hangup that he needs to work through, because he always includes something that's just like, what's wrong with that guy? Like in this film, it was, I think, a brother or sister longing for loving. That was a thing. I think they might have been like a step thing or a half thing, but it's like a weird thing. It's like, what are you doing?
Why would you go there? What's wrong with you?
Michael Bay's Intrusive Thoughts. Why would you go there? Hollywood's weird. We just have to embrace that. When you start to break it down, you really start to find some of the finer points out there of like, oh yeah, that's why they're weird.
I wonder if hang on, let's pause. I want to get this line. I wonder if Wes Anderson ever went to that island.
We're not saying that he did. We're just questioning and wondering aloud, had he? And it's not to say that he did anything illegal if he did.
Guilty. What?
All right. Number 1 is There's Something About Mary.
So I'm going to be the odd man out on this. I actually didn't really care for There's Something About Mary. I thought the concept was there, but I just thought it was really kind of a dumb movie. And I know everybody loved it. And I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. I didn't particularly care for it. I don't know what it was. If it was just too goofy for me, but so I would actually put this on the list somewhere, but it still doesn't. I mean, I would put this after Dodgeball. Dodgeball still, I think, scores higher.
Yeah, same. Like, I mean, I think the biggest part of the movie was like Brett Favre showing up.
Brett Favre.
And then, it's kind of like, oh, Brett Favre's in a movie. It's like, all right. But aside from that and the hair gel, it's like there's really no memorable parts in the movie.
He zipped his
I
little
remember that
man
part.
up.
Yep, I remember that
He
part.
zipped his little man up, TJ. That's what ended his prom night, TJ.
Yeah.
Well, Cac, let's just say it might have been too traumatizing for me to remember.
And that's why I'll never forget it. That was a constant fear of my life for a long while.
That's a constant fear of a lot of men's lives, Cac.
Zippers are scary when you
now that you say it, I remember it and I'm envisioning it, and I'm like, oh, like, is that even possible? How it was zipped up in there?
So that was my whole thing with it. Like at first I was like, oh man, that's got to be painful. Then when it showed it, I was like, wait, how did it go around? First of all, how did we'll call him Mr. Pole not get in the way first? Then Mr. Round, I guess, and then a zipper did something I've never seen it do before, and it went around and continued on zipping up, if I remember correctly. And I was like, "That's how does that work?" And I'm not gonna say my next thought. I'm not gonna say my next thought. Actually, no, I am, because I want to make y'all hurt, boys. Because I would think it would stop and like pinch.
Yeah.
Okay? Yep. There you go. Got that in your head?
Yep.
Feel a little weak in the knees now?
This segment's been brought to you by I'm trying to think of like a crotch care thing. Your urologist. You should probably go see him. It's never too early to go see your urologist. Or find out what the word urologist even means in your life.
This segment brought to you by Mando. You may have zipped your wang up in there, but it doesn't smell bad.
This segment brought to you by Manscaped. Go shave your balls. Whatever that British guy said in the commercial that we watched. You gotta shave your balls.
I'm gonna shave your balls.
No one likes hairy balls. All right, so that was Ben Stiller stuff. I can't think of any other Ben Stiller movie.
I mean, everything else Ben Stiller's in is like
Starsky and Hutch.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking more like Happy Gilmore.
Well,
like the side characters that he plays.
Oh, okay, yes. My fingers hurt. Well, your back's fixing to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Oh, now your back's
See the name tag? You're in my world now, Grandma.
Anybody else's fingers hurt? Oh, I didn't think so.
Can I trouble you for a warm glass of milk? You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
You're my he makes better side characters than he does leading actor.
What was that
character comes back in Hubie's Halloween. There's a plug for Netflix Adam Sandler movies. Go watch Hubie Halloween and find out that the Adam Sandler universe is connected and real.
What was oh gosh. It was the movie about the kids. They went to fat camp.
Yes.
Oh, heavyweights.
Yes. He's Ben Stiller's the personal trainer, I guess, in that one.
Tony Perkins.
Walks
on the glass.
And I like how they find a way to like dispatch him, but he like comes back at the end more raving lunatic than he has ever been. Such a good movie.
They make the false video to show to the parents when the parents come in and they've got him stowed away, and it's like the one kid. It's like one of the kids from Goldberg from Mighty Ducks. Is eating a rat.
Yeah.
The blob. That made me want to go and find a place that had a blob and jump on it. It also made me think, God, I'm getting fat. Need to lose some weight. Because they're saying some awful things about these poor kids. And aside from the British kid who deserved all the awful things said about him because he's a little bit of a pussy, kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
Because especially now that I'm older, you have to realize the casting call was fat kids.
Hello. Yes, we're looking for fat kids.
All right, get Kenan Thompson and the guy that played Goldberg.
Any more fat kids? No, just go find some on the street.
We got this one kid. He'll probably never age out of this, and will go on to no longer have a Hollywood career. Perfect. He'll be our main character.
Perfect. He'll be our main character.
We will so emotionally stunt him with the notion that he's the fat kid in his young life that he'll never go on to do anything else ever again. And now I'm curious, did he ever go on to do anything? He's probably like he's probably like a serial criminal that pops up in a Law and Order SVU episode later on in life. Heavy weights. Let's find out.
Heavyweights. Where are they
Judd
now?
Apatow was in that.
Yes, he was.
He was a counselor, wasn't he?
He was a head counselor.
He was like the cameraman for Tony.
Oh, that's right.
All right, let's see. Pat Finley, the camp counselor. So that's the fat counselor. Whatever happened to him in his life? He still made a couple more movies. Good for him. No one watched him. Okay. And Stiller, that was his father because that's his real father. So what is his name? Okay. Gerald Jerry Garner is the main character. That's Aaron Schwartz. Aaron Schwartz was in Mighty Ducks. I forget he was in Mighty Ducks also. Heavyweight. So he's basically just like, hey, I'm a fat kid. Third down, straight, evil. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as Young Ego. I don't remember. I'm going to have to rewatch that now to see that. Ham on Rye and Adverse. Let's see. Was he in anything? He was in Young Sheldon for TV shows. He was in Law and Order, but as a bomb squad cop. He was in Suits. He was in anything else? Gossip Girl, the most recent one that came out. And he stars as Lucas in The Young and the Restless. I guess he glowed up. Did he glow up? Is he looking attractive? Oh my gosh, yes! He's no longer a fat camp kid. Look at him.
He's a handsome, chiseled kid. Oh, yeah, look at that guy.
Good for him. Good for him. I bet a lot of that had to do with
that everyone, movie, those movies.
Everyone that's of our age or older being like, hey, fat camp kid! just throughout all of his formative teenage years. And now he looks really good. And now he looks really good. So kudos to him.
Kudos, yeah.
Not every fat kid made it out of that. Sorry, guy that played Goldberg. I saw that you hit hard times there doing meth or something, man.
He went like way downhill, but he's like better now. I guess he's sober now.
Good. That's sad. Drug addiction is a thing, and it's sad.
Yes,
we're not making light of it, but we are saying that it's funny that they did have to put out a casting call for fat kids. That is funny. That is funny.
Yes.
Let's see. Do you guys want to do some New Year's resolutions on behalf of people, or do you want to talk the DCU and MCU news, or would you like to talk some Ghostbusters?
What do you think, TJ?
I'm still kind of confused on this New Year's resolution.
Okay, TJ.
People. So
all right, well, TJ just picked.
Let's screw our way through this, and then
Perfect, TJ. Perfect. So I'll give you an example. Welcome to Rage, you nerds. We're making some New Year's resolutions on behalf of some of the great people out there in the world who probably need to make these resolutions and stick to them. I would like to say that this year, Zack Snyder is making a resolution to stop making films and his own director cuts because no one wants to watch the damn thing, and no one especially wants to watch the damn director cut version of it. Zack Snyder recently made Rebel Moon or Reba McEntire. No one watched it on Netflix, so then he doubled down and released the Zack Snyder cut, to which people said, I especially don't want to watch any more of that. So New Year's resolution for old Zachy boy, stop making director cuts. Just make a film, make it the way you want, and then stop. And then just go on with your life.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Something like that, TJ. Something like that.
Okay. I have to think of something.
That's fair. Jared, did you have one in the chamber?
I did, and this is, I think the New Year's resolution of the entire Marvel MCU right now is to just go ahead and bite the bullet, do whatever they got to do, pay whatever they got to pay to get Batman over to the MCU and let DC die a slow and painful death that it most deservedly is. Yeah, it's time. It's time to take the one leader of DC and Bob Kane's glorious work and bring him over to the dark side where he can flourish like the lovely bat that he is. And that's my New Year's resolution for Marvel. Just rip that Band-Aid off, offer him whatever it takes. I don't care how much money it costs. Get Batman to the MCU where he belongs and let DC die.
It's fair. It's good. Good tidings to you, MCU. I mean, that's a good resolution for MCU. That's an awful one for the poor DC.
But they're thinking it. Maybe that's the whole point of all this. They're just waiting for Marvel to like, man, I hope they make us an offer on Batman so we can get out of this shit. Once we do that, we can stop making movies, but we got to keep spending money to make crappy movies unless it's a Batman movie, and then we have to make it good because that's our only source of income right now.
Fair. TJ, you got one now?
Yeah, so this one's on behalf of James Gunn and whoever the other guy is that's running DC.
Pete Safran.
Pete Safran. Instead of trying to do a shared connected universe, just make individual movies because no one wants to see a shared DC universe. And especially with the fact that some of these characters that you're coming out with for the first round of it are creature commandos. I mean, seriously, like I've never even heard of that, right?
Yeah.
So just make the single, standalone movies, stick to animation and television shows like what DC is good for, and maybe send Batman over to Marvel.
I've got a New Year's resolution on behalf of Netflix. Netflix, not everything has to be cake or not cake. Stop making additional seasons and series based on things that could or couldn't be cake. Just stop. You have a problem, Netflix. And now my wife is addicted to it, and I hate you for it. Because now I question the reality of, is anything cake? Is everything cake if nothing's cake? I don't know anymore. Is this shoe a cake? Should I eat the shoe, Netflix? So, the fact that you haven't already been sued because some guy has lost it and been like, I've ate everything! What is the cake? Is actually kind of mind-blowing. So, hey, kudos to us, society. The same society that couldn't figure out that McDonald's coffee's hot hasn't lost their damn mind over, is it cake? So, hey, good for us.
I got another one. Jared, you got another one?
No, go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Okay. So this resolution is for all the absolutely stupid people out there in the world who think that they have to sue every single company because the image on the wrapper doesn't match the product inside the wrapper. I'm talking to you, lady, who decided to sue Reese's because the pumpkins didn't have a little carving face on them. I mean, seriously? Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb to where is it mean that much to you that your little Reese's peanut butter pumpkin has the little jack-o'-lantern face on it? I mean, it's all coming out the same in the end, so why does it even matter?
Is that real? Is that a real thing, TJ?
Real. That is real.
Oh, wow. I hate people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't wait for the nukes to get dropped. I mean, it's that bad. When people are
allegedly
suing a candy bar because a candy company because the thing doesn't look like, they put a little jack-o'-lantern face on it, but you open it up and it doesn't have the jack-o'-lantern face and they're upset about it. Oh my God, get a freaking life.
Oh, now I'm going to have to pay attention this October to see if there's like a disclaimer on the wrapper that says,
oh, yes.
Candy is not, candy does not look the same on wrapper as in package.
That makes me think of someone else. I just lost it. Hang on. Let me try to get it back. Keep talking.
Okay, so I got another one. So this one also goes to Netflix. I'm sorry your feelings are hurt. It really just didn't work out. It's not me. It's definitely you. I am not going to resubscribe. Stop sending me emails telling me how much you miss me. It's not working.
Yep. Netflix New Year's resolution. Just take no.
Yeah.
Just take no.
Just, I don't care if you're a little bit cheaper with ads. I don't care. It wasn't working out. I mean, it's definitely you. It's not me.
Jared, you got one now?
Yes, I do. I remember what I was going to say. I have a New Year's resolution for the NFL, the National Football League. I would like them, no matter what happens at the end of this season, whoever wins the Super Bowl, whoever goes to the playoffs, I would like sometime in the offseason, they maybe put, now I know, follow me on this. This is a tricky one, but this is a resolution. I'm thinking maybe they should put, make a book or something out there that has rules for officials that, the officials have to go by when they're officiating the game, with things like I don't know, holding calls, pass interference calls, little things like that. Like if we could all just get together on this and make a list of rules of like what's holding, what's not holding. Oh, but they're subjective calls, Jared. Yeah, why are they always subjective towards one team and not the other? That's what I'm saying. The NFL referees are trash this year. They're absolute and total trash this year. And I've said that being on the end of a couple of good calls, and I've said that on being in not good calls, but like being the recipient, I guess, of a call gone wrong that I thought, well, at least we can score a touchdown now, but still, that's my New Year's resolution to the NFL. Roger Goodell, at the end of this season, would you get off your lazy ass and do something and either put these officials in some kind of training or get rid of them and get people that can actually do the job? That's all I'm asking. And America agrees with me.
Addendum to your resolution, NFL, resolve yourself to get robots.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
Robots.
Hear me out on this one too. So you have cameras all over the place now. You've got pylon cams. AWS, Amazon Web Services, they can track how fast the wide receiver is running, the trajectory of the ball when he catches the ball. But is nobody telling me right now that we can't figure out how to put two receptors on the pylons and maybe something in the ball that if it goes past that receptors, a little light goes off and says, hey, that's a touchdown? Is there no way
I've been saying that for years. Just like a little chip that you can put in the ball that says, you know what, it broke the plane.
Yeah. They could.
That hard? Do it. NASA, what are you guys doing to help the NFL out? I know you're busy working on things about Mars and stuff, but let's talk about things that are important. I want to know when that ball's across the plane.
NASA with this.
Let's
go straight to Elon Musk. Elon Musk, you do this.
I need some help. Does he even like football, or is he a soccer guy?
He is from South Africa. So
he is from South. Yeah. So, all right. So who's third banana on this? We got NASA, Elon Musk, and then Samsung. I guess would be the next people.
Hey, speaking of Elon Musk, can we get a new? I want Elon and Zuckerberg to make a resolution right now that they're actually going to have their little slap fight this year.
Yeah. I want to watch this.
Stop pussyfooting around, you two.
Yeah.
Go and fight.
I don't really care who wins.
This is an election year, so we're all going to be in it come November. And it'd be nice. It'd be nice if like a little palate cleanser that we have two rich people, one that is maybe a lizard person and the other one that may be associated with blood diamonds, to fight in the most untestosterone fueled manner possible for our entertainment. Because that I don't know, that feels like as a society, us the poor's won. if the rich are now literally fighting with each other,
go fight.
It feels like, hey, you know what? The poor did win. Good for us. The meek shall inherit the earth. But if that happens, won't you no longer be the meek? Shut up. you will be the first purged.
In order to inherit the earth, we cannot be meek anymore by logic.
Yep. So any naysayer will be the one first purge. Which actually, be careful using that word now.
Oh, is that a bad word now?
Well, so I don't know if you saw this, but on College Game Day, they did like a College Game Day for everything that happened in like the last 2 big bowl days or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so Alabama's starting quarterback, Milroe, has a brand that is called LANK, LANK. And Reese Davis, probably one of the most professional dudes, got a good voice, got a good set of hair, is just like a good fixture for when it comes to someone announcing something. And during a College Game Day segment, it's Reese Davis, it's Desmond Howard, it's Pat McAfee, I think Joey Galloway, I forget what the other guy, he was a new guy that was filling in for, I guess while Corso wasn't there because they kind of roll Corso out here at the end now, and he says it, he survived a stroke, so God bless him, and Kirk Herbstreit. So you got two black men, you have 3 white guys. And then you have Reese Davis saying what the acronym LANK spells out, or actually means. And he said, let a naysayer know. To which Pat McAfee says, I don't think any one of us thought that's what you were going to say. and Desmond Howard is in tears, laughing, and says, Reese, you said that so smooth. I thought you were about to end your career. which then prompted over the last 72 hours, Naysayer was trending to the point that it hit the zeitgeist of pop culture that on Tuesday's New Year's Evil with NXT, WWE's NXT, Trick Williams, who I love because his theme song elicits people to yell, "Whoop that trick," which is hilarious, said, "Naysayer, please." In response to someone. And Twitter is full of a lot of that content, to the point that as a white person, you do have to question, like, can I say that? Like, I know, like, in my mind, I know as an English major, I know that naysayer is a word that's been said all throughout, but now I feel like it might be a minefield and I shouldn't say it. But yeah, so that's something that happened. But Reese Davis, kudos to him. He's like, what's going on? Like,
I don't understand why everyone is laughing at me.
But Pat McAfee said, I think what a couple people were thinking while Reese Davis while Desmond was gone. Desmond was out of there. So that became a hot thing. I was reading the comment section of the Pat McAfee posted the clip of that because he's been running with that all week long.
Oh gosh, yes.
As a clip. The comment section of that, one, it was people using naysayer in place of another word for their comments and quotes. But additionally, you had people saying, this is the funniest thing ESPN has ever done. And if you haven't seen the clip, it is legit pretty funny.
I'm going to have to watch it when we get done.
It is legit pretty funny. It is legit pretty funny. New Year's resolution for all of the independent film people inspiring, all these people that want to make a name for themselves, make a resolution right now to not use Steamboat Willie. Stop it. There's already a horror movie going to be made about the Mickey Mouse prototype, and there is already a horror game based on Steamboat Willie that's out there. Steamboat Willie, the original clip featuring the very first instance of Mickey Mouse, is now public domain.
Public domain, yep.
So people have ran crazy with that, which, to remind everyone, that doesn't mean you can do stuff with Mickey Mouse, just like how that horror movie, Pooh, Blood and Honey, couldn't use all of the characters that we know of Winnie the Pooh because it was just about the original artwork with Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, and I think that might have, maybe Eeyore was in it, but they couldn't use all the characters because that isn't in public domain. It's just that one specific thing. So Steamboat Willie is there. Doesn't mean you should go all gung-ho to make your Mickey Mouse black and white adjacent themed horror movies. Stop. You have a problem as a society.
Well,
stop.
First of all, me and TJ are far too busy to make that right now, working on Ghost with a Gun.
Ghost with a Gun needs to be made. New Year's resolution, make Ghost with a Gun.
We were kicking around the idea last weekend, and we're like, well, we can pull this off.
Make Ghost with a Gun, and then our follow-up to it, Cornhole. Yeah. Any more resolutions?
I don't think I've got any.
I think I'm good.
All right, we love and appreciate all of you listening. If you have stuck around this long to listen to all of the nonsense, please make sure that you follow this podcast on whatever format you're currently listening to us on, and go check out our social media. We're either Rage Nerds or just search Rage You Nerds anywhere, at any time, on all the platforms. We're pretty much everywhere. We may not be super active everywhere, but we're there and we're trying, gosh darn it. And if you want to see our faces, go to YouTube. If you don't want to see our faces, go to YouTube anyways. Do it. But this has been Rage You Nerds. This has been a podcast. This has been nonsense. We hope you enjoy it. Our New Year's resolution is to end this show right now. All right, have a good one. We hope that 2024 is better or worse for you. I don't know what you need in life. See you in hell.
Don't shit your pants.